The market went red today. Oil prices spiked on new Middle East tensions, and both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq dipped. 2 days before that, on Tuesday, the Dow Jones ripped up 385 points and broke a 3-day losing streak. Red one day, green the next, red again today. And that's not a crash, and it's not a rally. It's just a normal week in the market. Earnings season is a big part of why it's been choppy. Almost 90% of the S&P 500 companies that have reported so far have beat the expectations, and the market has been reacting stock by stock as those numbers come in. None of that has changed what I'm doing to my portfolio. My portfolio didn't flinch either way. It's sitting at $11,348.70 right now, and I didn't sell anything on a red day or a green day. Welcome back to another episode of Almost Wealthy. This channel documents my real money journey to becoming my own bank, borrowing against my portfolio instead of my paycheck, using margin to cover my bills while my investments keep compounding. This is my bill stacking plan, the roadmap, and the source of truth I follow phase by phase, and everything you see is live and real. Right now, I'm on phase 2. Now let's get into it. Last time you saw this account, it was at $10,985.43. That was in June. This is a July update, every holding, every dividend, and the margin loan, and how close I am to my next milestone. Like I said, my portfolio value sits at $11,348.70. The cost basis is $10,960. The cost basis number is what I actually put in, every deposit added up. Unrealized gains sits around $388.53. That's a 3.54% on everything I've put in so far. 5 positions, all of them green. Not because I pick winners, because I didn't sell any of them. That's really the whole trick, and it's less exciting than people expect it to be. Counting price gains and dividends together, this account is up $584.85 since I opened it, or 6.99% in total. 2 different ways of earning, both pointed the same direction. So let's talk about what each position did in July. SCHG, value at $4,486, is up $184, or you can say 4.2%. It's still the single biggest position in my account, and that's not intentional. This is still the growth collateral position. It barely pays a dividend. Its job is to grow in value so I can borrow more against it later safely. It pays about 0.4% in dividends a year. SCHD, by comparison, pays closer to 3.10%. The gap is the whole reason I skipped the portfolio into growth pieces and income pieces instead of picking one or the other. SPYI, value at $3,036, up $11.96, or 0.4%. It's the smallest move of the 5 on this update. That's normal for this one. It trades price appreciation for a bigger month's check instead. It sells options against the S&P 500 to generate income, which is also why its price barely moves compared to the others. Slow and steady is the entire design of this fund, not a weakness of it. SCHD, which is valued at $1,753, which I'm up $102.48, or you can say that's 6.21%. Best percentage gain in the portfolio to date. Dividend-focused ETFs have been quietly outperforming growth stocks the last few weeks for me. After years of growth getting all the attention, SCHD, it's punching above its weight this month, and I'll take that. GPIQ at $1,253, up $46.64, or 3.87%. It tracks the NASDAQ 100 with the income overlay, so it catches some of the tech rally from the earnings season without the full swing. Same idea as SPYI, just pointed at tech instead of the broader market. VYMI, valued at $719, up $42.75, 6.32%. Second best percentage gain in the portfolio right now behind SCHD. This is the only fund I hold with real exposure to Taiwan, China, India, and Brazil on top of the usual European and Japan names. International stocks have been quietly stronger all year, and this position is why I still hold something outside of the US. Its expense ratio is 0.07%, the lowest of any international dividend fund I've looked at when I was building this portfolio. But if you take a look at the screen, every position is green, and I love that. Why I don't react to weeks like this. Remember the red day I opened with, and then the 385-point rally the day before. Then it was red again today. If I reacted to every one of those days, I'd have made 3 decisions in 3 days, and every single one of them would have been guessing. I didn't check this account extra times that week. I looked at it once, same as always. That's not because I don't care what happens to my money. It's because the plan doesn't change based on the headline. The plan changes when a milestone gets hit or when a bill goes on the loan. Everything else is just noise. The portfolio has to sit through it. And so far, it sat through all of it just fine. Lifetime dividends paid so far is $158.81. Here's the month-by-month trend so you can see it. March, it was $32.34. In April, it was $24.42. In May, $29.85. In June, $62.08. June looked huge because SCHD, VYMI, and SCHG, the quarterly payers, all fired at the same month. July looks smaller right now because most of what hits this month is from the monthly payers, SPYI and GPIQ, while quarterly ones reload for their next payout. Here's the schedule so the ups and downs make sense instead of just looking at something random. SPYI and GPIQ paid every single month, rain or shine. SCHD, SCHG, and VYMI pay every 3 months, but in a bigger chunk when they land. That's why some of the months look quiet and other months will spike. It's not the portfolio doing anything different. It's just which funds happen to be paying that month. M1 projected $443.76 in total dividend income for all of 2026, paid pending and estimated combined. That works out to be $36.98 a month on average. And that average keeps climbing as the portfolio grows and add more shares. This started at exactly 0 back in March of 2026. 0 to $36.98 monthly average in 4 months without me picking any single stocks myself. None of this has came from picking a winning stock at the right time. It came from owning the same 5 ETFs and letting them pay me on schedule I don't control, and I don't have to think about it. Now let's talk about a margin loan. Total borrow, $443.26. The interest on that is 5.65%. Current LTV is 4%. LTV means loan to value, how much I've been borrowing against compared to what the whole portfolio is worth. I'm borrowing about 4% on my portfolio value. The monthly interest on that is about $2.09. My dividends cover that interest 22.9 times over. I ran a stress test too because saying I'm safe isn't the same as showing it. If the market dropped 30% tomorrow, my LTV goes to 5.8%. At a 40% drop, it's at a 6.7%. And at a 50% drop, worse than the '08 crash, it's at 8.1%. The margin call line on this platform is 40% LTV. Even a 50% crash across the whole portfolio doesn't even get me anywhere close to that line. That's not luck. That's the 12% target LTV doing its job before I even actually need it to. Here's what a margin call actually is in plain terms. It's the platform telling you your borrowed amount has gotten too big relative to the portfolio and you need to add cash or they'll sell your positions for you to fix it. Nobody wants that second part to happen. The entire point of keeping the LTV low is that the math never gets anywhere near that conversation in the first place. M1 says technically I have around $8,000 in excess equity available to borrow against right now. I'm not touching almost all of that on purpose. The bill stacking plan only unlocks the next bill when the portfolio can safely support it, not just whenever M1 technically allows it. The gap between what I could borrow and what I actually can borrow is the whole safety margin. Anyone can technically max out a margin line. Almost nobody sits down and decides in advance exactly how far they're willing to go before they need it. Here's what's changed in June. The internet bill went live in July. $105 a month added on top of the phone bill that was already running. Combine the bill on the margin now is $203 a month, paid via margin since March. Year to date, $595.08. That of my paycheck that stayed invested instead of going straight into the companies. Stretch both bills out over a full year at that current phase, and that is $2,436 a year moving off my paycheck onto the loan. Phase 2 is fully live now. Both bills are on the loan. Neither one touches my paycheck anymore. Small number today, it compounds right along everything else. So how close am I to phase 3? The amount vested, $10,981. My next milestone is $14,000. $3,019 left to go there. That's phase 3 on the bill stacking plan. At $4,000, the next bill goes on the margin. That's basically my energy bill, which costs around $155 a month. The model projects that $61 a month in dividend income once I hit that milestone. Right now, at phase 2, it's projected at $44 a month. Same strategy, more capital behind it. More income showing up automatically without me doing anything different. The roadmap on this spreadsheet goes all the way up to $2 million. Phase 13. Phase 4 is the car insurance. Phase 5 is the electric bill. Phase 10 is at $145,000, and that's the one where the margin itself goes on the loan. Every phase on that list follows the exact same rule as the one I just hit. The portfolio has to be big enough that the dividends alone cover the new bill interest many times over before that bill is even allowed to go into the margin. Nothing skips the line, no matter how tempting a bigger bill might be to add early. The rules don't bend just because I'm impatient 1 month. That's the entire point of me writing it down ahead of time instead of deciding it in the moment. Next up on the calendar, not the phase list, GPIQ and SPYI both pay again in August, estimated around $10 and $30. SCHD, STHG, and VYMI reload on their next quarterly payout in September. Small, steady, on schedule. I'm not thinking about the $2 million or even the $145,000 right now. I need $3,019, and that's the only number that matters this month. So to wrap this up, so far in July, my portfolio value is $11,348.70. My unrealized gains is $388.53. Lifetime dividends is $158.81 with $30.85 more landing in 2 days. My margin balance is $443.26. My LTV is 4%. My monthly margin cost right now is $2.09. Dividends cover that cost 22.9 times over. My distance to phase 3 is $3,000.19. The portfolio is growing. The bills keep stacking on the loan instead of onto my paycheck, and my paycheck stays invested. And that's the whole plan, and it's still working. Same plan in a green week, same plan in a red week, same plan today. Nothing about this update requires a single prediction about where the market goes next. It's just required showing up and reporting what actually happened. One more thing before I go. The spreadsheet you just saw, the actual bill stacking plan I used to run all of this, phase and risk snapshot and all, link is in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss when I cross $4,000. See you on the next one.